I'm joined with Bart Jaworski from Group 11 Resources. Bart, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Steve.
So I got to start off asking you about Zinc. I know that you are running an exploration company that's got a zinc project. Why should investors be excited about zinc?
Well, there's a shortage going on. All you have to really look at is the TCs, the treatment charges. They're on the floor and then some, so they're actually negative for the very first time ever last year. So basically, if TCs are low, that means treatment charges are low. That means the smelters are willing to drop their costs. They're desperate so much that they're willing to drop their costs in order to attract scarcer and scarcer concentrate from the miners. So that really tells you something, and it's a good leading indicator for what the metal price is going to do. So TCs are still very low. I think the benchmark deal is going to happen later this year. It's estimated to be one of the lowest ever, and so that's a very bullish signal.
So let's get into Group 11. What's the high-level overview?
We made a significant discovery in Ireland. It only took us 7 years, but we got there in the end. It was a hard slog. About 100 drill holes, about 20 million bucks Canadian, but we got there, and we have made the most significant discovery in Ireland in the last decade or so. Ireland's famous for its world-class zinc deposits like Tara, Lachine, Galmoy, silver mines, Tina. And basically we have 42 holes or 44 holes into it now, over 2.6 kilometers of strike. We're getting hits like 10 meters of 10% zinc lead with 100 grams silver. Germanium is kicking as well, 10 to 80 grams per ton germanium, AI metal, 2 times more valuable than silver, geopolitically sensitive as well. Very, very good to have it on European soil. And we're getting increasingly more copper and silver, and we're punching way above our weight for the typical Irish type zinc deposit. We're getting 50 to 150 grams per ton silver. So there's something unique about our discovery in that it is much more silver rich than the typical Irish type zinc deposit. So that's really what's attracted a lot of investors to our story. Our market cap's now 40 million, 45 million, roughly. Glencore is our largest shareholder. Mike Gentile, who hopefully a lot of in your audience will know.
We've interviewed him.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's been our second largest shareholder for 4 years, and now just in the last few months joined the board as well, which is fantastic to have him on the board level. So really it's been able to attract a lot of key investors to the story, and we are now about to close a $2.5 million financing, which we just announced last week, and that will really allow us to spread our wings, accelerate, maybe go from 2 rigs, which is what's turning right now, maybe to go to more than that, and hopefully match at least what we did in terms of drilling. Last year we did 8,000 meters. We're hoping to do at least that this year, but maybe more so, and really to expand along our 6-kilometer trend and look deeper for this copper unit.
I love that you mentioned how many meters you guys have drilled in the past and how much you spent drilling it. I think that's a really important question for any retail investor who's watching this right now. They're probably trying to figure out, okay, how do I begin to value something like this? And those are real dollars that have been spent to explore the project. So let's talk about Ireland as a mining jurisdiction. What can you tell us?
60 years of modern mining history there. So you have fantastic world-class rocks sitting on top of very good infrastructure, sitting on top of stable politics and a very good mining code, which ranks very well in the Fraser Institute. So you have all that going for you. That's why, the prerequisites to get to cash flow are there. You have a lot of big, beautiful, rich zinc deposits in the world, but they're still stranded to this day because of no infrastructure. It's a killer for base metal projects if you don't have it. So if you're gold or silver, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, you're just flying out bricks of metal. But when you're a base metal project, you've got tons and tons a day of concentrate. You can't fly that out. That means you need roads, rail, waterways, whatever. So infrastructure is key for base metal projects, and this is where we really come in Ireland. We have roads everywhere, rail, power, year-round tidewater, proximity to European smelters. And at the end of the day, you have concentrate that's clean. These are MVT deposits, not VMS or SEDEX. They tend to be coarse, clean. They produce beautiful concentrates, which are highly sought after.
So something that I think the retail investors often overlook that is really important whenever we're talking about different jurisdictions is what does the royalty or tax structure look like? What can you tell us about Ireland?
Well, I wish it was like Apple's, but or some of the tech names, but no, we don't. We have tax rates that would be very similar on par with world averages. There's no sort of freebie within Ireland in terms of taxes. I will say this though: the Irish government recently, on the back of the CRMA, which is the Critical Raw Materials Act in Europe, decided to pony up and put some weight behind it, and actually announced 30 million euros of investment into fast-tracking Irish mining. So 60 years of modern mining history, but now the government is actually helping out with the ISIF, which is the Irish Strategic Investment Fund, and putting basically a fund's money to work towards fast-tracking Irish mining projects. So I think that speaks well to where the government is at.
So Bart, if I am an investor in your company, or I'm hearing the story and I go, okay, this is unique. I'm looking for unique stories. I like Zinc. What am I looking out for over the next year if I'm trying to evaluate the company and I'm trying to get excited about what the future holds?
Well, higher zinc prices, I think, in the near term, maybe in the next 12 to 24 months on the back of supply shortages. Like we sort of started talking off at the beginning, there's about 10 to 20 mines worldwide that have been shut down either temporarily or permanently. So you have a supply shortage, you have steady demand, that's kind of going to drive metal prices, keep them stable. And then in terms of the asset, it's all about grade and jurisdiction and infrastructure. And again, like those grades I was mentioning to you earlier, 10% zinc and lead grades. The average worldwide zinc grade is about 6% zinc and lead. So we're getting healthily above that 6% average, global average at 10%. Plus we have a huge silver sweetener, 50 to 150 grams per ton. We have a growing copper potential target down below, about 100 meters below our discovery potential. And if we're able to succeed on that copper target, then that would obviously expand our audience by about a factor of 10, because the audience for copper is way bigger than the audience for zinc. So we'll see how that goes. We're hoping to test that on the back of closing this financing to test that deeper target and really expand along the 6 kilometers. It's all about connecting with the drill bit. And at one point or another, there'll be a critical tipping point, I think, in terms of what the market sees in terms of what our tonnage potential is here, and hopefully a re-rating. So that's sort of what I would be driving towards as CEO of Group 11.
All right, well, Bart, thanks very much for hopping on here. I think you guys have a very unique story in the sense that, as we talked pre-interview, you're the first Irish mining company that we've encountered. So I wish you guys the best of luck, and let's chat in the future as you guys continue to develop your project.
You bet. Thanks very much, Steve. Appreciate it.